think what influenced the new album, or the material on the new album, is just playing live. I think we played live more in the last 2.5 years than we have in the last 5 or 6. We all found that the most enjoyable stuff that we were playing was the heavier stuff. We decided to ensure that it was heavy, well, with the guitar tones and just the way Steve was playing and the way Dan was playing. So it became conscious after the material was written, just to ensure that it was heavy.
I had to take a different direction in terms of what I listened to, because for me growing up I was never into heavy music. Not that I don't like it, but I just would never put it on.
Well, it sort of came from what myself and Darren used to, we listened to when we were kids, really, growing up, like the Vice stuff and more metal things, and I was at the Van Halen and Rush.
I only just started listening to heavy music again in the last probably 4 or 5 years. I grew up listening to bands like Deep Purple and Magnum via my father. But from like the age of 18 onwards, when I stopped being as angry, I stopped listening to it, because I was into Pantera and Sepultura and things like that at that time. But in the last 4 years I discovered Mastodon, which have been, I would say they've been a big influence on System of a Down. And just before the last album, which we wanted to be heavier than it actually was, I went through a big Devin Townsend phase. So currently I'm just listening to heavier music in general, and I think eventually it's going to find its way into your writing. This time we wanted to find a producer who would already delivered the kind of sound that we were looking for, and that was the key thing. I think Dan did some research and found a couple of different producers. We narrowed down to James and some other guy. Unfortunately we chose James. It was stress-free. It was easy. I wouldn't go as far as saying it was enjoyable, just because it never is. But it was a lot easier, and it wasn't mix after mix and tweak after tweak. Guitar tone-wise, he knew exactly what kind of sounds we wanted, even more so than me. It's fantastic. It's an incredible studio. It's definitely got a vibe. The drum sound was absolutely incredible.
Yeah, the room here is great for the drum tracks. Definitely more of a live sound.
Click up a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, whatever you want.
It's a common story. Have you walking away? The facts I've kept pretty secret, and details hazy. Worried you will see through it. Covered us with wall. Tried giving you reasons and warned in stages of what's coming.
In terms of going after this album, I think there's still more of this stuff to come. I don't know at the moment what it's going to be, but I just know this heavy thing it's not finished. But I think that after that there is something just totally different going to come out.
We were playing when we were on touring with the Aristocrats about a year or 2 years ago. I remember playing through one of our tracks, because we're the support act. I remember just playing through one of the tracks, the Envisage Conundrum, the title track of that album. And as it got to like basically a third change of feel within the 2.5 minutes, I remember thinking that if I was in the audience, I think that I'd just be a bit confused. You know, being given a chance to get into it. It's different if you were the headline act and people were familiar with your music. But I just think that if I was in that audience, I would have wanted the music to breathe a bit more. And I've always been averse to repetition, and I think that's what's changed on this album, is that just because you're repeating, you know, the same feel for another verse, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be bored of it sooner. It's interesting to have a bit of unpredictability in arrangements, but on the same token, you don't want to keep changing the feel constantly, because I think you just haven't got time to enjoy the music or enjoy what you're listening to, and I think that's the lesson I've learned in the last few years when it comes to arrangements. Recording vocals just really annoy me because I can never hear myself, or I can never hear the music. The music's too loud, the vocals are too loud, the vocals are too quiet, the music's too quiet. It's just annoying really, and I just blame him, James, for the majority of the discomfort I felt. The vocal sound that he captured was really good. I don't think anyone offers me any encouragement or otherwise really. It's just, I don't know how to manage it really, just because I got no support from anyone, from the band, producer. I just left to internalise any problems that I might be experiencing and sort them out there and then.
The majority of the album will be on the 5-string. I did have a sound in mind, but it got dispelled the minute we plugged everything in. So it's a lot different from what I thought it was going to be, but it's extremely appropriate now.
Open-minded guitarists generally don't exist, but I think in the recording process you have to sort of defer to somebody like James, who actually knows what they're talking about, because most of us, including me, haven't got a clue what we're talking about. We just, as you said, we just focused on what our guitar sounds like in isolation, when that's just a complete and utter irrelevance. The important thing was getting the drum sound, and Mono Valley provided an incredible drum sound, and everything could be stacked on top of that. And recording the bass as well at the same time. It was important to get the rhythm section right first time. It was an excellent foundation then to record the guitars and the vocals. I do feel like it's mission accomplished and on to the next thing. I don't particularly want to listen to it yet. I know that it's good. Probably won't listen to it for another 6 months, just because there's always going to be something, and I don't want to. Now at this moment in time I've got the opportunity to change something, so I don't want to listen to it just in case. But now it's all about rehearsing just to deliver this music live.